Hi guys, this is Rob and I'm back for not a review. This is a bit of a vlog really. I've been away, did a disappearing act for another month, and I think it's about a month ago I did a video saying why I'd been away for another couple of weeks at least. And it's not the way I intended it to be. I wanted to be putting videos out more regularly than this, and hopefully I will be now, but maybe I shouldn't say that. It's a kiss of death, isn't it really? I've been ill again basically. I got ill and then I got better and then I got ill again, and as a result got quite behind with some work that I undertake. I'm always pretty busy, but normally I spread my time out quite well. And I went up to the Huddersfield model show with my friend Andy, off Brit Modeller, made a look round, and I got invited to join the bomber command table where they make models of bombers from the RAF, and particularly I'm interested in V bombers, and he asked me to make a Vulcan, so I picked up a Vulcan kit and I've made loads of them before. This one took me about a month in total, 3 weeks, and working on it every day. If I wasn't at work I was working on this thing. It was an absolute bastard, nothing fit together on it, but in the end I've got there with it and it's nearly finished now, and I had to get it in time for Cosford show. So I know this isn't a Transformers review, but this is it. It took me hours and hours to do this. I've had to recut this black line on the front. I scribed that in myself, and I've these intakes, resin intakes that I've put in, but I had to fit them in and flush them all out, and all around here, all around the edges, had major gaps that had to be filled and smooth. That took 3 days just to do that. Masking just the tape on the inside of here took days to do, well, about a day. And then because the fit was so poor, all these wings didn't fit on or anything, and this had a 1.5mm gap either side here which had to be filled in. I mean, I've built loads of these before, but this one was particularly bad. And on the engines at the back I had to completely scratch build this. That took me another 2 days to do, out of pens and bits and pieces, and these bits, fairings in between the middle here were just hand sculpted milliput. That took ages and ages to do, but it was worth it at the end. There's an inner tube as well. So that was just because the kit ones were so poor. They had a massive gap in the sides, it just looked bloody awful, and bits missing out of it and everything. So Andy challenged me to make this, and it was only on the last day of the build he told me that this boxing was so bad that most people put them in the bin. So I had a laugh with it, and there still needs a few things doing to it, but I'm pretty happy about it. This masking, though, I was on the last day, I was up doing this with blue tack to mask off the green, and it took 6 packs of blue tack, and it took 2.5 hours to mask it, and I was still painting it at 7 o'clock in the morning on the day of the show, and I had an hour's sleep. It was that close. It's crazy. I had to reshape the tail at the back as well, recarved that, and the windows here were drilled and moved across to the right position. So that was a piece of work. But not only that, because I was doing an experiment with the camouflage, I had to make another one as well, a little one, to test out the theory to see if the colours would work, and this still isn't finished yet, as you can see. There's a little one. That one was much easier to do, and that's a dragon kit. The one's an Airfix one, and the forest there I made with precision ice and snow and bits of sponge and all sorts of stuff like that. So there you go. So sorry, this sofa's creaking quite a bit, and I'm very pleased to see that I've picked up more subscribers still, so I can't believe that, but thanks very much for subscribing, and soon I shall get back to the reviews. I've been picking up bits and pieces, but I haven't picked up much this last month because 1, I've been busy, and 2, I've been skint, so I've got plenty that I have picked up in the past though, and plenty that I've still got to review, so I will get around to it. I did pick up this gorgeous Springer recently, which is absolutely amazing, and I've transformed him a few times, but not totally properly, I don't think. I like these bits that come up here, and I believe this is based on the IDW Springer. Got this gun on the back from Sideswipe, is it? Yeah, and you can hold that quite well. It looks quite cool actually. In fact, Sideswipe was a character that I wasn't that fussed on. He's quite good, but I picked it up mainly for the gun as an accessory really, because it was on cheap. But it does well for other characters, not quite duty. Maybe not for him, but it looks cool. So I've got some ideas for that, maybe for a Megatron custom. The gun, not Springer. And here, I just picked this up a while ago, but I particularly like this Skullgrin, and this reminds me of a few years ago when things were pretty good for the Generations line. The Generations line is still good, I think, but they were really good. This was an amazing Transformer, and this made me feel really happy picking this up, because this just brought back so much nostalgia for me, and really just, it's got something about it that's special, and I wish they'd do more stuff like this. So with the complexity of it as well, it's quite nice. It's also got 3 modes, but 3 modes a bit. But yeah, I recommend you pick this one up. I think he's an amazing Transformer, and the head sculpt is just phenomenal. So I've been sorting out all the Transformers too. I've been transforming them all into their alt modes, because I'm having trouble with storage space, to be honest with you, at the moment, and I've got to fit them in drawers most of the time, so I'm trying to compress them down as much as possible. Another thing I picked up a while back, I took this to Race Party with me. This is a Powertron, which come from Transformers, I think, or Takara at least, and they sold them to Ertl, if I understand it correctly. I had one of these when I was a kid. I've still got it. I found it at the loft, the black one with the wheel missing, and it was that spurred me on to buy this, because they're so much fun. What you do is you rev them up like that, and they'll drive, hit the wall, and then transform, and then roll back at you. So they're sort of gravity reliant, so if you transform them like that way, they tend to click together better. But if you do it up, they can be, it's going to be alright now, isn't it? Yeah, they can be a pain to get back together. Now it's working alright, but I've given this a big clean up because all the stickers were so gammy, they just weren't worth keeping. But I'm thinking of putting some Autobot stickers on this, or maybe Decepticon, I don't know. I think Autobot would suit it better, to be honest. And having it as a new character. And I see this as G1 because it's the same era, and it could have been a Transformer, you know, it could have been a very good Transformer. It is gimmicky, but I really like it. So, and it's addictive and good fun, and that's surely what it's about. So this is quite rambly, and I just wanted to say hello to everybody and say thanks to the subscribers. And I will be getting my arse in gear and doing more videos soon, especially as the weather's getting better and I'm better, and I've pretty much caught up on everything now. But I've got loads of stuff on. I've got to do a review on Precision Ice and Snow. I've got to do plenty of videos on those. I've got some models to make for Bomber Command. I've got some scratch building to do to make parts for these kits. Trying to revive an old kit as well, a Frog Vulcan, which I've got hold of. And I'm going to try and work out how to clone that and cast it in resin, because I'm getting quite into the idea of making my own stuff and actually making the parts and then cloning it. Seems like a good idea. Good fun too. I should take a sip of this coffee. I'm being greedy with the caffeine in that. This is a nice Costa coffee, which was on sale. Lovely. I really should try and cut out the caffeine. I tried to quit the caffeine and I failed. Yeah, I keep failing on that one. So, what else have I been doing? I'm probably mumbling loads at the moment, so I'm out of practice for this. I picked up Game of Thrones, Part 3. I haven't seen this yet. I'm always about a year behind with this because I found the first DVD at a low point in my life when I was wondering what to do with my life. And it was an impulse buy. I was in Tesco's and I seen it and I thought that looks cool, and it had Sean Bean on, and not this one but the original one. And I bought it and fell in love with it, and so is the missus, and we both watch this all the time now. And when we get a chance. So I'm really keen to see what happens next. I've got as far as episode 5, I think, and I hope this goes on and on and on forever. It's just brilliant. Game of Thrones, fantastic. Really, really like it. I also picked up these Transformers Prime DVDs. I think this is season 1. I must say, really like it quite a lot. I really, really like Transformers Prime. Getting into it in quite a big way. And I hope they do more of this too. I hear they're going to cancel it soon. But I don't know what it gets like further on. But I hope it's good. It seems to promise a lot. Whether it delivers later on, I don't know. But we'll find out. I tend to always be very behind with these things. It's because I'm usually distracted and disassociated from reality. I have this ability to either be very social or be very antisocial. Not antisocial in a bad way, just like my own company. And because I'm creative, it takes a lot of time. Making the models takes ages, but that's not the main thing for me. The main thing for me is music, and I've been in a real frustrating place with my computer. In 2012, early on in February, I had loads of problems with my computer and hard drive, and at one point I lost everything I've been working on for the last 8 years or more, music-wise. Everything, just lost it. And it took me a whole year to get it back, and at that point I didn't feel like playing the guitar very much, because I thought, well, what's the point? I've just lost 8 years worth of work, what's the point in playing more shit, to just lose it. And I didn't have the ability to record anyway because the computer was pretty much shacked. So it took me a year to get the data back. Everyone said it would be impossible to do, but thanks to Ubuntu, which is amazing, I managed to detect everything with Test Disk and some other programs, and I got everything back off the drive. Then it took me another year to pretty much, well, months, sort it out and get all the files right, then get a new computer. Thanks to Steve, he helped me out with it. And then a new sound card, and only just this last week have I got it working again. I've got all my music back, I can play it, I can record with it again, and I'm very happy with that. So I've been quite distracted with the fact that I can now at last get back in the studio and record my album and finish it. So I might actually be able to return to gigging and maybe do some music videos now, which would be really nice, because I don't want to just do reviews. So I've decided I want to do reviews, music videos, and also vlogs, talking crap about this, that and the other, and just stuff like this, just where I feel like talking to a camera. I must say, this YouTube thing has been fantastic, and still is fantastic, and I find that you meeting good friends, and it does a lot for your confidence and helps you really get to understand who you are. Just talking to a camera, I never thought that would happen, but I have all these thoughts going through my head, and there's loads of things that I could ramble on about. Life and death, for one thing. That's another thing about a lot. Not so much about, everyone goes about life and death, I'm not about it now, but the one thing that keeps coming around to my thinking is having such vivid memories of childhood and going into the world. I always had this thing where it was like a shock to be here. And people going about death being a mystery. To me, life is a mystery. Why the hell are we all here? What's it all about? That's something that I keep thinking. Everything seems so natural. Everything's so real, it seems, and it's in front of you now. And we're so bombarded with so much stuff that we never really get any chance to stand back and think, what the hell is going on? So, very surreal. Especially as I've had 3 near-death experiences. I suppose this is what's prompted me to start thinking along these lines. So there's quite a few vloggers I've been watching recently and got quite inspired by. One of them is Emma Blackery. I think she's amazing, and seems to speak my mind about so many things. Sleep things as well, all that thing where you get into bed and you start thinking, oh my god, when am I going to die? What's life about? And what am I doing? All these things, little things that are social quirks that we probably all have but don't really talk about, and I think it's a good thing because it's what's real, and I think that's what draws so many people to YouTube, is it's real people doing real stuff, and it's not this contrived bullshit that you get on the TV, which is marketed at not necessarily somebody in particular, but a way that, well, a commonly held belief of what people should be. So I find so many people entertaining to watch on YouTube, and for many reasons. Not just if they're Transformers reviews. There's a lot of Transformers reviews I watch, but I don't really watch them for reviews necessarily. It's just because I find the person interesting too, and the way they talk about things and their take on it. It's not necessarily about the toy. I mean, I think any of us can make a decision about whether we want to buy a toy or not. It's a case of, do you like it? Do you want it? For whatever reason, it doesn't matter if it's articulated. If it's not articulated, pardon me, no, I'm burping. It doesn't matter if it's basic or complicated. It's just whether you like it. Then that should be the only thing that makes you want to buy it. It shouldn't matter why. Just it's interesting to know why. But if you like it, buy it. What is interesting though is when people talk about these things and say why they like it, or what it does for them. It might not be that there's something about the toy that, it might not be the toy that you like, it might be that it brings back memories. It's like this is a new toy, but it brings back memories for me because it just reminds me of comics and 80s stuff and the colours and the way it's made and the look of it, the aesthetic of it, and it just pleases me. And it's just something that's nice to have around. But like Exaggerated Allergy was saying, the material thing doesn't really bother him anymore, and I don't think it bothers me that much anymore either. It's and I don't think it ever did. I think it's just the inspiration that these things can give you. As an artist, a writer, you know, a musician, these things are brilliant. And it's the character, and it's not just the character, it's the look of it, just can inspire you. Anything can inspire you. But sometimes the way this thing looks could inspire me to write something really evil, and just by looking at it and having it around. I'm a dyslexic, so I have a very visual mind, and my memory and everything else is all very visual. When I think it's all out there and connected to everything, the people, they think it's all very pigeonholed and stuff like that. So for me, I like to surround myself with things that I like and that I draw inspiration from. It's not the only source of inspiration. Sometimes getting out and seeing things, or the weather, anything really, the way colours look interests me, things like that. And I just find it's all about emotional really, it's emotional intelligence. So like colours are emotion, shapes can give you an emotional response, and things people say, things people do give an emotional response, and that translates directly into musical inspiration for me. So it's interesting because my missus is a writer, she writes stories, and I think it's the same thing for her, and people who make films as well, it must be the same for them, I imagine. So that's what makes life interesting. There's so many things out there, so diverse. Another thing that keeps me inspired or awake is coffee. So I've been messing around with Sony Vegas now as I've got that, trying to do some fancy editing and stuff, and try to do things a bit differently, and try and mess around with the cloth behind me and all sorts of things like that to make the videos look better. And that's all fine, but I don't think I'm going to stick to any particular standard way of doing things. I like diversity, and I like experimenting and trying different things and putting music in the background. It all, well, just makes it more interesting. And sometimes it's nice though to just sit here and waffle. I've been trying to edit and get used to that edit thing where you edit things out, and I like that, and it's good to get to the point sometimes. But sometimes it is just nice, just be yourself, just relax in front of the camera and talk to you guys. So and I've missed it. It's I've been itching to make a video for ages, so I'm really happy I'm doing this now. It's starts to become a part of your life after a bit. It's the same as I get annoyed if I haven't played my guitar for a bit, or if I haven't seen people that I care about for a bit, or if I haven't done a YouTube video for a bit, anything like that. It's I like to be doing stuff. I always have stuff I want to be doing, and there's not enough time. I just wish that weeks were longer, but they're not. And I can't believe that we're now in April, halfway through April, and my mind is still sort of back in New Year, because it seems like 5 minutes ago, and I dare say it'll be Christmas before long. So, God almighty. There's some masterpiece figures I've missed out on that I'd like to pick up, like Soundwave or Sound Blaster and Starscream, but you can't get them all. It's just impossible to afford them these days. The price is ridiculous on some of these things now. And there's some third-party figures I've been getting into. I'm quite impressed with that Galvatron figure that I just got recently. Is absolutely phenomenal, and I still haven't transformed it. I haven't had time to transform him yet, and that's what I've been waiting for all my life, is a figure like that. But I don't know whether there's much point in being completist anymore and stuff like that. I mean, G1 for me, I'd be completist with that just because G1 is so cool. But I started to really think about the way I collect stuff, and it's just things that interest me now. I think Transformers that I like, that mean something to me, they're all Transformers, they're all cool, and I like mixing them up, to be honest with you. It's good. I can't display them at the moment, and hopefully when I move out again, I will display them everywhere. And it'd be great to have a party and invite everybody round, but I can't do that at the moment. I'm still living at home. I've moved out once when I lived in London, and then I moved back, and it's just been like nearly impossible to do it after that. But hopefully soon I might do. because I'm going to be 30 in June, and that scares me. I can't believe that I'm going to be 30. It's seems like 5 minutes ago since I was 18, really. And when I think back to 2001, when I was at college, when 9/11 happened, it doesn't seem like the world's moved on since then. I mean, 2001 to 2005 were actually quite good years for most people financially, and then since 2008, in this country at least, I've noticed a huge difference since the government's changed and the way people are living now, and it is so depressing. It really is. The oppression on people these days is unbelievable, and I hope it changes to a fairer society again sometime soon. And yeah, it just feels like everything's stale at the moment, and it seems like 2001 all the way through till now, it seems like the same time frame to me. When you think back to like, I'm sure as life goes on it'll seem different, but when I think back to like when I was a kid in the 80s and the 90s, and I can remember those decades were quite significantly different in some ways. The way they felt, the fashion, the way people were with each other. And as a kid I might have had a different perception of it, but I can remember it very vividly. But the last couple of decades seem to be very much the same. And if anything, it seems like technology in some ways is going backwards and things like that. But I suppose it's not digitally, it's quite advanced that way. But we'll see what happens. I've got this feeling that things are going to change soon, so I'm working on all sorts of things at the moment, and I hope something comes off, and I hope I get to auto assembly this year. I haven't booked my tickets yet, so I don't know if I've missed out or not, or how it works even, because I've not had a chance to read up on it. But I heard you could stay in the hotel, and I'd love to do that. That'd be brilliant. So I'll have to try and sort something out. And if you can go on the day, that might be the case. I have to go on the day. I do only live down the road in Kidderminster, so it's not very far away for me to come to Birmingham. And I'm looking forward to meeting some people. And as for buying toys, if I can afford them, great. But really, that isn't my reason for going to AA. It's the people, definitely. Absolutely, 100%. It's the social thing that I'm interested in. And I can be quite shy meeting people at first, but I'm getting not so bad these days. So, yeah, I think, again, being on YouTube has helped me with that, and Go to Race Party was cool, especially as I was quite nervous about going to them. I thought, you know, what the hell to expect, and I think I ended up drinking too much because I was nervous. But they're all cool, and it's like, it's really weird because you meet people that you've seen for years on the internet, and they see you and you see them, and straight away you feel like you know each other, but you don't. And it's it's weird. I suppose you do, but it makes it very easy to just slot in and start talking to people. But it is quite a surreal experience, and I'd like to do more of that. And I'm sure that AA is like that. It's going to be cool. And as for toys, at AA, if I could pick up some toys, I think I'd be looking at the G1 stuff. Things like Monster Bots. And I might try a few Beast Wars figures because I've not got any Beast Wars figures. That'd be quite nice to have a few of those because I'm told so many good things about them. I would avoid anything with gold plastic. And things like G1 mini bots would appeal to me. I'd like to get a Sea Spray because I actually think G1 Sea Spray was my first ever Transformer. I've still got him, and I can't remember anything earlier than that. And I know that I played with it and just absolutely loved it because of the colours and the quick transformation and the way it transformed. And I still do love him. He's brilliant. If I get another one of those mint, that'll be brilliant. And maybe another thing that I'd look out for, I know that I'm never going to find one, it's a prototype G1 Hot Rod in the pink plastic. That would be brilliant because he just looks so much better in pink, I think. So he's supposed to be after all. And anything else that takes my fancy. So, like I say, mostly the people is what I'm going for, if I can get there. I'm sure I will, but I'll have to make damn sure that I get there. So I will do a review soon on something, and I think I might do something easy like G1 Cliff Jumper, but I've got a lot of figures that I want to review. I've been picking up a lot of figures at the start of this year, and it's going to take a lot of time to get through them, so there will be plenty of reviews coming. But probably mix it up a bit with some vlogs and music videos. And I suppose this hiatus thing that I keep doing is something that's part of my life really. I've always done it, it seems. I suppose it's quite normal or natural with YouTube to do this, because we all have our lives to live and sometimes things get in the way. But I will try and do videos as regularly as possible. And it's been more difficult as well because I've had a lot of work on the house done recently and still having it done. The garden's being transformed at the moment. So there's people in and out all the time. It's hard to make a video when people are hammering bits of wood and sawing bits of wood and shouting to each other, and there's cranes dropping things off and the front door going all the time and the phone ringing. It's not a good environment to make a video in, unless you want to hear all that crap going on in the background, but I'm sure you don't. So yeah, this is a very waffly video, but I shall see you soon. And thanks for watching if you got this far. And if you haven't subscribed already and you like what I'm doing, please subscribe. Cheers guys, see you soon.